Mimi, what's poppin'?
Hey EJ, how you doing?
I am so good. Well, I'm so glad that I'm finally getting to meet you, being as though I think we were going to meet before, but it didn't
Yeah,
pan out.
yeah, well, we're here, very excited.
How are you? How's everything going?
Yeah, really good. I'm in London at the moment at home, which is lovely. Yeah, no, really, really good.
Why is it so good?
God, I just love it. I love London, love being at home.
Why is everything going so good and so well right now?
I think because I'm just getting ready for this album, it's busy, but I think there's so much really exciting things around the corner.
You're getting ready for the album. Tell me how you're feeling right now. How's that feel?
It feels like a new era, if I'm honest. It feels like I feel very grown up. Um, oh gosh, keep getting calls. Sorry. Very grown up, and I just feel like this is the time now. This is the time to drop an album. It's been a long time coming. It's something I've worked on for such a long time. And yeah, I just think people are gonna just be mind blown.
As an artist, how do you decide like a new era has to happen?
I think it was me personally, my personal life, that kind of started to trigger that change and to kind of have the new beginning. Um, but yeah, so I think because I was in that kind of stage, I'm 22, and I just thought I felt very ready now for it.
How did that click? When did that click?
I'd say ending of last year, around like November, October, yeah, November, December.
Was there something that sparked it that made it click?
Yeah, I went through a breakup in September, and then I think I kind of, because I'd already kind of dealt with it. I was kind of ready for that change, and I think I felt like I learned so much from it. And because I knew like the album, so much of the music was from also that experience, and kind of it's really weird. I kind of like wrote the songs and all the kind of the signs to leave that situation way before it actually happened. So yeah, so I feel like it was due.
Do you ever get like is there anxiety rumbling through your spirits right about now, being as though you wrote about something, for your new era, right? And are you ever worried about like what the person or what the situation you wrote about, like what they will think about it?
I don't, and I did, but I feel like now, like there's a reason that's out my life. There's a reason that's done. So no, I don't care. There's no, it's
You
not gonna,
you
not gonna,
don't?
no, because it's not gonna affect me. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. It works.
Mimi, let me tell you, I feel like I would be so anxiety. Well, let me just say, I think it's great that you're not affected by it. But I would
Oh,
be so like anxiety ridden, number one, on what people will think, and number two, what the person will think that the situation and that these songs are about.
yeah, I think it's funny. I think me and all my friends just find it funny because I think all of them wish they could do it. They just were like, every time they call me up, they're like, "Oh, I just want to expose my ex. How do you do it?" Like, we all just find it really funny, but also a lot of it is like in jest, and it's not exactly like just about one person. It can also be about the experience more than like against that person. So I think you know I try to keep it as chill as I can.
Are you one of those people, like, let's say a situation happens to you, right? Now, after the situation happens, are you running back to your room and you're writing about it? Or do you take some time to process what happened and then go and write about it?
I think writing about it helps me process it. I think it definitely comes hand in hand with the whole method of writing. But yeah, like I think now I have to mentally kind of deal with something before I can kind of start writing about it for weeks and weeks, because I think it can become like toxic if you don't deal with it head on before. But yeah, I think as a writer, a lot of people can just forget about things and move on. But as
Mhm.
a writer, you have to dig up things and rehash things.
Which is almost like, I don't want to say traumatic, but like, let's say if it was a situation that was like traumatic and then you have to literally go through it to
Yeah.
write again. Like, how do you get through that?
Oh, it's tough. It takes a lot of meditation and a lot of willpower.
Is that how you protect your peace?
Yeah, I think I've now ending of last year, I really struggled mentally with my mental health. So I feel like I did a lot. I put a lot of time into learning about how it works and how to kind of help yourself and control it. So yeah, like I'm really good on it now. I know how to shut my mind off when I need to, and I know how to do that. But it took a long time to kind of learn that process. And yeah, but yeah, I do. I definitely use that to protect myself. I lay boundaries for myself. About what even one of my boundaries is, it's not my business what people say and think. So, it's something I really like. I live by.
How do you set those boundaries?
So so I have a coach, and she'd said to me, she went, okay, say this to yourself, what people say and think is not your business. And then she asked me how that made me feel. And I said, oh, I feel like there's a boundary. I feel like there's a safe kind of line in the sand. And then she was like, there you go, that's it. And I think when I was in that moment and I figured that feeling out myself without someone telling me that's what it is, that's when it kind of kicks in. And that's when so now when I say that and I think that, that's the feeling I get, which kind of refreshes me.
You know what's interesting? I feel like we all know what's a boundary for us. Like deep down inside, you know what's the boundary for you. But I feel like a lot of times it's hard to put it in motion.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it is for sure. It takes a lot of, you know, it's like bravery, isn't it? Of putting yourself in the position to like act on it.
Yeah, because I feel like deep down inside, like you know, before we get there, we're thinking about like, what will this person think when I set this boundary? How is that going to make me look? I think for me,
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, it's scary. But once I think you start to lay that boundary down more and more, you start to build like a tolerance to it.
absolutely. Tell me about red flags.
So red flags is all about the situation I was in where I was just constantly running through red flags. Um, my family, my friends, everyone was just like, seriously, what are you doing? And I think when you feel like you're in a place where you have to justify your situation to your friends, that's when you know it's bad. So so yeah, I it was me and my friends wrote this song week after my birthday. It was all kind of going off, and now when I look back, I'm like, oh my god, I should have seen it then, and I would have probably got out a lot sooner.
Can I ask what was some of the red flags?
um, it moved way too fast. I think I was told that they loved me 4 weeks in, um, but I was head over heels. And I think the red flag was because I was convinced this person really liked me. I then began to kind of let that in wholeheartedly.
Right.
Um, then begin to see as soon as the honeymoon part was done, it was kind of like there was no substance, there was no respect and care. So yeah, I think when I look back now, for me, a slow burner is exactly what I need. Because when you do look at that and you've been in that situation, experienced that kind of love bombing, it's tough for sure to be able to move that fast ever again.
What were your friends pulling you aside and saying?
They were just like, they were like, come on, like he's not talking to you right. Like I'd had a birthday dinner the night for my birthday, and I had two of my girls there with their boyfriends, and we all had like this date. And so bad, but yeah, they weren't happy at all with the behaviour that was on that dinner table. And I knew it was, and I even said, I was like, oh, but I was so scared to lose it because I was like so blinded.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, then when we went out on my actual birthday, they kind of said to me, so the day after we all went out, and they were like, come on, like, what's going on? And I was there really trying to defend it, being like, oh no, like trying to make all these excuses up, when actually no, it was just pure respect that was just not there. So yeah, like, but I just felt like even now when I think back to that, like I was so naive, and all I wanted it so badly that I put that before my values for myself. And I think coming out of that, I've just learned so much more. And even like what I like in a person and what I'm looking for now is like so different to what I was looking for then.
You know what's interesting? In the process of you defending your relationship to your friends, in the back of your mind, are you thinking to yourself, I am so foolish right now? I know you said after the fact when you were out of it, but as you're defending this relationship to your friends, are you like, what am I doing?
Oh yeah. Oh, completely. I felt awful my birthday. Um,
You?
yeah, I sat there because I just knew. I just knew. I knew it. My parents also were telling me. And then we actually, after the lunch, we went and met him and all our friends, and I was sitting there, and they saw through it, and I knew it. Like it was like that anxiety kind of like sticks, like kind of rocking your stomach that just kind of sits there and molds, and just you can feel that it's there.
Mhm.
But obviously, my birthday, I was so having such a great time that I wanted to ignore it. But now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that whole day I was just thinking about it constantly, and realizing and knowing that my friends were right. So yeah, so I think the universe did me a favor because they sorted that out in the end and got me out. But I think it's you just know when your friends are like, when you feel like you have to defend your relationship, like that's when you need to really sit down with yourself.
Do you think that you were defending it to save face in front of your friends and family?
To save face, what do you mean?
It's like a saying to basically like that this is crashing and burning, but I'm gonna put on a brave face and act like everything's okay, just so I won't let them know that I am feeling the same way that they are feeling.
Yeah, definitely. I think they all knew I was feeling it, and I think that scared me because I knew as soon as as soon as it was out,
Mm-hmm.
that was it, and I was gonna have to make action and do something about it. But yeah, I think I started to text my mum a lot about it, and be freaking out. I remember I was on a really long flight
Mm-hmm.
in America, and I was like going, I was going from here to America, and I was texting my mum, and the whole flight, it was like a 10-hour flight, even more, and I was just overthinking, anxiety, feeling just so lost, not sure where I stood with this person. And yeah, just text my mum the whole way through it. And my mum's like there trying to like convince me it's okay when she really knows it's not. And she's trying to kind of make me calm down. And then once it was kind of all over and done with, she even said to me, she was like, I knew then that I was starting to catch up on it, and I was starting to catch it and realize what was going on.
But you need to make the conclusion. You need to come to the conclusion yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So my mum was seeing me doing that process. And then I think all my friends saw me like gently kind of realizing.
Mhm.
And it's weird because I always end up doing it when I'm on tour or when I'm away because I'm doing what I love. So then I kind of reevaluate everything else. And so I think everyone could see me slowly starting to take action myself and actually come to that conclusion. So it works out.
Are you thinking to yourself, okay, March 2nd cannot get here soon enough?
Oh, I'm just so excited. I can't wait. For me, it'll just be like a release and just ready for this new era, this new chapter. And yeah, just to then also get it on the road and start touring that album.
Have you heard your like people that you know and love and friends and things that you run people that you run things by? What do they think of the album? First, have they heard it?
Some of them have some of the songs, not the full thing, but
Okay.
they are best. They are just jamming to the songs. They're like these are my best songs yet. So they're so excited.
Mimi, thank you so much for jumping on Zoom and chatting with us. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. It's such a nice chat. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.